students, today I want to present the concepts of virtualization which is in your academic year, in this academic year, second unit concepts. Dear students, this entire unit is mainly made for the virtual missions. What is a virtual mission? And virtualization of clusters and data centers. For virtualization, you need to have the data centers virtualization and the cluster of servers virtualization. So, though these concepts can be discussed in this session. Okay, right? So, here you can observe the slide. The concepts of your second unit or nothing but server consolidation in virtualized data center, virtual storage, provisioning and deprovisioning, cloud operating systems for virtual and data centers, trust management in virtualized data centers. Right, ma'am? Okay. So these are the concepts which you can understand in this session. See, the next concept is the differences between the traditional computer and virtual machine. Actually, what do you mean by a traditional computer? Is having completely the hardware to work, just the electronic chips and motherboards and the RAM and all these the electronic items. It consists of the hard. That is what you can just you can call it as hardware. And to make work with that hardware, you must have a software. Okay, right? So hardware, software, and certain system applications to give the services to the customer, to the user simply. So that is what a normal machine, that is what nothing but a traditional machine. Okay, right. What do you mean by a virtuality? Virtual machine means which is not real. Which is not real, but it gives you that much of, services and resources if you want. It gives you in that pattern. Here it maintains virtually all the resources. It doesn't just have, suppose if for 10 items means it doesn't process 10 items, only 2 items. And what about the remaining 8 items? The remaining 8 items, virtually it just gets the services from somewhere else. Okay? But here, according to the user aspect, what it gives the user perspective, it is having totally 10 items. Okay, that is what I mean by 2 are real. But what about the remaining 8? Remaining 8 are virtual. So here, for this, it must possess in its architecture, it must possess one item, that is itself nothing but the virtualization layer. You can also call it as a hypervisor. Okay, so you can observe the slide, traditional computer, and if you make it virtualization, you have implemented virtualization in traditional computer. What it would be means that is the next one, that is after virtualization. So after virtualization, one platform, the virtualized platform, that is what we call the cloud platform. That is called as a cloud platform. So in cloud platform, all these hardware and software on the top of the hardware, and in between to the hardware and the software, you have to have one the middle layer, that is a hypervisor. You have. Okay. So this hypervisor makes the availability working of all these hardware in addition to the platform, the particular machine. And accordingly, this is made for different types of platforms also. So the guest devices can run. That is what this all virtualization can run it on one another machine. So you can run it on a guest operating that is nothing but the virtual machine. Dear students, now I want to present what is a virtual machine. Just now I have discussed virtuality means which is not real but gives the representation of a real. Okay, so from the user's perspective it is real, but actually it is not. It just takes the services from somewhere else. It collects all together through the internet. It collects all together, but it is not real. This is nothing but virtual. Virtual machine is nothing but representation of a real machine using software that provides an operating environment which can run or host a guest operating system. So this virtualization can be implemented on one traditional machine. Then you can call it as the guest operating system. The guest operating system can work for. Okay, right? So here it provides you, it gives you the certain programming environment. Because of if you want to run any application, any user application, so there you must compulsorily go ahead with the working environment. So the working environment should be that much of flexible, then only that must be known to you, then only you can just make running of your program and can see the output. Is it clear now? So that is how what the way nothing but the virtual machine. Virtual machine is nothing but a representation of a real machine using software. What is that software? That software is nothing but the VMM. Okay, VMM or hypervisor. Okay, ma'am, right? So here you can just have that is VMM, or simply with the help of hypervisor you can make creation of such an environment to run virtual machines. Okay, so this is what nothing but a representation of a real machine using software that provides an operating system environment. What do you mean by that? Operating system environment? Yes, it provides such an environment to make working of your programs, right? So this is what nothing but the virtual machine definition is. Finally, what do you mean by a virtual machine? A virtual machine, a representation of a real machine using software that provides an operating system environment which can run or host a guest operating system. What do you mean by guest operating system? An operating system running in a virtual machine environment that would otherwise run directly on a separate physical system. Here, the virtualization layer is nothing but the middleware between the underlying hardware and virtual machines represented in the particular system. This is also known as the virtual machine monitor or hypervisor. Is it clear now? Right? So this is what nothing but the main definitions. You must have a knowledge, you must have awareness on this, on which basis nothing but the virtualization concept is. Okay? See here now. Yes, you can view the virtualization in different ways. The physical view is one way, and the physical view itself represents you the hardware. So hardware virtualization, and logical view is nothing but the software virtualization. So what do you mean the software virtualization? Mail services, all mail services. Okay, and CRMs, the virtual application, virtual appliances, and the web store, all these are in the logical perspective. Whereas in physical perspective, all the computers, the storage, the SANs and NAS, and interconnection items. Okay, so this is all nothing but the user's point of view. The virtualization is. This virtualization is ranging from hardware to applications in 5 abstraction levels. So here those are application level, library level, operating system level, hardware abstraction layer, and infrastructure layer level. Okay, infrastructure, that is the instruction set architecture level. So these are nothing but the five levels virtualization is ranging from. Okay, coming to the first one, that is application level. You know very well Java programming. What is the main benefit of the Java programmer? What is the main plus point of Java program? Yes, Java program can run anywhere. Once if you have prepared, once if you have designed that Java program, you can run it anywhere. Means what, ma? Simply bytecode. You can just run, you can design the program and you can run on one platform and it gives you one bytecode. So this bytecode can be run on any platform. How is it possible? Because of the virtualization. That is what comes under the concept of application level virtualization. Because of JVM, Java Virtual Machine, because of JVM only, that is possible that you can run a bytecode on any platform. You can run the bytecode on any platform. So these are all main points that you are just known points. Yes, JVM is because of that virtualization only you are having that much of flexibility, and for the Java programs, that is nothing but it is portable. Portable is one of the Java buzzwords. Okay, right? So all these are nothing but the different examples of the application level. And library level virtualization. Library level virtualization is here the while and many such virtual just max to many weak CUDA, and that is virtualized CUDA. CUDA is a programming model. Okay, right now. So these are all nothing but the examples of library level virtualizations. And operating system level. Suppose here the virtual environments and FVM. FVM is mainly meant for the operating system level virtualization. And hardware abstraction layer level. So that is VMware is the best example. So what do you mean by this hardware level, operating system level, all about what do you mean by this? This is all nothing but you are providing the virtualization in these levels. You are making the virtualization of hardware. You are making the virtualization of the software. You are making the virtualization of OS. Above all, hardware level virtualization is the primary, and all the remaining or the rest are nothing but the secondary. Okay, software virtualization means that may be either application level or library level or instruction set architecture level, ISA, instruction set architecture level. Okay, ma'am, right? So these are all different levels under software virtualization. So the mainly two types. One is hardware virtualization and another one is software virtualization. Means you can implement the virtualization concept in these many levels. Okay, is it clear? Right. Dear students, the virtualization at ISA, instruction set architecture level. This is what nothing but emulating a given ISA by the ISA of the host machine. And here the examples are MIPS binary code can run on an x86 based host machine with the help of ISA emulation. What do you mean by the simulation? Suppose if you go for the imitation of a software, that is nothing but the simulation, and imitation of a hardware is nothing but the emulation. Okay, and typical systems are nothing but CORS, Cube, Bird, Dynamo. All these are the typical examples of the ISA emulation. And here the advantages is you can run a large amount of legacy binary codes written for various processors on any given new hardware host machines. application flexibility is one another advantage of this ISA virtualization. And the limitations are one source instruction may require tens or hundreds of native target instructions to perform its function, which is relatively slow. And this virtualizing the instruction set architecture requires adding a processor specific software translation layer in the compiler. So the translator is also there. Okay, translator support is also there. That is what nothing but the advantages and the limitations of the ISA level. Next, virtualization at hardware abstraction level. Virtualization is performed right on top of the hardware. It generates a virtual hardware environments for virtual machines and manages the underlying hardware through the virtualization. So virtualization at hardware abstraction is mainly this is only the topmost, this is the primary in virtualization. And the typical example systems are VMware Zen architecture. This is what you can understand, you can learn in this unit. Okay, and here the main advantages are is very having higher performance and good for application isolation. And according to the limitation, we should just represent the limitation, that is itself nothing but it's very expensive to implement. This is very cost effective and of course very complex task. But it gives, once if you are ready for that, then it gives much more results. Okay. Virtualization at operating system level. Virtualization at operating system level is it is an abstraction layer between traditional OS and user applications. Okay, this virtualization creates isolated containers. What do you mean by isolated containers? Container is nothing but hypervisor. Which gives you the virtualization at software level. Okay, so it creates isolated containers on a single physical server and the OS instance to utilize the hardware and software in data centers. Here the typical systems are J, virtual environment, and Ansys VPS, FVM. These are the example systems. Okay, which implements the OS level virtualization. This OS level virtualization is mainly it is a startup and shutdown process is very easy. It doesn't have much more cost effective, and here it requires low resource requirement. Low resource requirement is the main advantage of the OS level architecture, and high scalability, that is synchronized VM and host state chains. Okay, right? So, and the limitations are nothing but here it must have the same kind of guest operating system. That is what the main requirement. And if it is not there, then another amendment is also there. But here it requires the main primary requirement is the guest OS should be of same kind. Okay, but whereas application flexibility is not at all supportable with the OS level. Okay, OS level virtualization. That is a disadvantage of the system. Okay. Dear students, you can observe OS level virtualization in the figure. On the top of the hardware, you can run that standard OS, and on the top of the standard OS, you can just run the virtualization there. That is actually, this is either in between or on the top of the OS, standard OS. Okay, and all such virtual environment means which makes the availability of which includes the guest operating systems, virtual machines. Okay, and user applications, which includes all. That is what nothing but an encapsulation of guest operating system and the related applications. This is what nothing but the virtualization at the OS level.